Washington left to right in the black. NC State right to left in the white. We are underway in the 2025 National Championship game. Happy to have you with us in Cary alongside Devin Kerr. I'm Joe Malcolm, joined by Marion Crowder in a moment. This stadium is packed to the gills, with NC State just 5 miles down the road. It is essentially a home game here tonight. A smattering of purple, but a lot of red. Early look, Lovelace blocked, and out for a corner. First ever meeting between these programs. NC State got off to a bit of a slower start than normal in their semifinal. If the first 36 seconds are any indication, that night might not be the case tonight. This is where they struggled, though, against St. Louis. Normally very good on set pieces. They did not create a lot of danger off corners in that matchup. Did score off of a long throw-in, but not on these corners. Riley Maloney drops it in, punched away by Boughton, and cleared by the Huskies. Ibrahim Kande looking to turn. Richie Amen tracking back the All-American. Giving away. Colleen Radosov calls the foul. Joined now, Marion Crowder down the field.
Well, guys, NC State was without their typical defensive starting holding midfielder, Tyler Caton. We were told that was tactically a decision made by the coaching staff. We've since been told he is day-to-day and it's injury-related. Now, we were also told he could potentially get 15 minutes if it was necessary in this match, because I watched his entire warm-up. He participated in the first 7 to 10 minutes, but no possession, no long passing, no shots. Was very ginger on that lower right leg.
They struggled for overall control within the game too, Joe. Carlos Santamaria will step into that 6th spot, but within that, they got to stay contact points onto that back line, making sure they're still linking up with that front two. When they lose control in the midfield, then they start scrambling. That's when the game became too transitional for them against SLU, and they lost control down in the channels. That's where they're at their best.
Mark Hubbard looking on. You see their first national final as a head coach at the D1 level. He has won a national championship already at the Division II level back in 2013 at Southern New Hampshire. Riley Maloney had the assist on the game-winning goal back on Friday, looking long here. Akolov steps. 2 number 10s dueling. Richie Amen on the Washington side, Tage Healey on the NC State side. Grew up together, played on the same club team together. Something to keep in mind tonight. There are some connections between these two teams. Long toward Kande, brings it down. Under the radar, but he was impactful, Ibrahim Kande, back on Friday night. He's always sort of been the quote-unquote other striker in the mix with Donovan Phillip in the season that Phillip has had with his 18 goals. But Kande, really important playing off of Phillip. So too is this man, number 9 on it for Washington. Has scored the match-winning goal in 3 straight games for the Huskies.
Go to Washington now in a perfect world. They're going to want to be able to press. They want to come up high. They can't concede consistently all the space in behind. NC State too good transitionally. So for Jamie Clark in his 15th season at the helm, it is going to be about control. We saw that against Furman. The midfield took over. They did a really good job creating balance on the width, but also targeting those central locations coming up high.
Huskies trying to silence the Wolfpack chant here in Cary. And Phillip clears. Over 10,000 came to the gates back on Friday night. Akolov Fernandez. And Asher Hestad. Hestad scored the exclamation point back on Friday. Here he goes. Hestad on his right foot, similar to where he scored back on Friday. Runs out of real estate. Goal kick. I mentioned it's just 5 miles for the Wolfpack from the heart of campus. Little bit further to get up for the Huskies. 2,850 miles.
I don't think the boys from NC State are going to be happy with their frequent flyer miles. Let's put it that way. Not going anywhere in the offseason.
And about, I don't know, this might be totally wrong, but about 1,500-ish miles to our south, there's a wedding for Ryan Saylor, and a lot of the boys are there for the Huskies, part of that 2021 team that made it to the national final. So we'll see at some point if we get some images tonight of them huddled around a phone. I think they've got more important things to worry about, but we're here if they want to watch something.
Almost positive the weather's going to be a little bit better down there.
Markovic battling Kosakov. Keep an eye on that all night long. Two very fiery competitors. Both teams pointing their direction here. It'll be a Wolfpack throw. Niko Markovic pulled back the curtain for us, and he said, yeah, he'll learn some different languages sometimes to smack talk the opposition. He is looking to get under your skin. Mac Herman, semifinalist as a defender, All-American, and he is there every step of the way with Kosakov.
I love how he's advanced as a player this season. Niko Markovic, wearing 6, right side of your screen, captain for NC State. You know, you talk about leadership and physicality for a defender, absolutely. But one of the biggest things you get scared about is defending in moments like that. One-on-one situations, you get pulled off the back line. It doesn't happen frequently anymore because he's got such a high IQ and judges the game efficiently.
Joe Dale looking in behind Markovic. Picked up by Chiaman, but the foul goes against Washington. Very experienced officiating crew here, led by Khalil Radasov. He's going to have his hands full tonight. Two very physical teams. Khalil Radasov, the reigning MLS Next Pro Referee of the Year, previously was a USL Referee of the Year, had the whistle for the national semifinal in college soccer in Louisville back in 23, and he had the whistle for the MLS Next Pro Final in 2023 on a lot of games just like this. And he will have his hands full tonight with these two teams. On cue. Sato Anabalele draws the foul for Washington. He was one of the, if not the best player on the field for the Huskies back on Friday night.
No doubt, his ability to really step up defensively, thought clean in decision-making and accurate anywhere that he was at on the field. You know, the way that they want to play generally requires a lot of ground coverage and them to be up high. Within that, you got to make sure you're organized, but also releasing players, and he was excellent that against Furman. Really allowed Zach Ramsay to play the game higher up, added an extra dimension in their attack 30 yards and in.
He only recently started starting. All 5 of his starts this season, make it 6 now tonight, have come in the last 7 games. Chatted on field before the game with Jamie Clark, the head coach. He said there was just a game in the run-in where he was out there and we realized, look, we're better with him out there. It was as simple as that. Went from a key reserve to a key starter. Kosakov a little grimace as he ends up in the ad boards looking at his left leg. It is slick down there. You and I got to walk the field beforehand. There's some patches where it looks like it's a little bit frozen over. It is in the upper 20s. Kosakov, second team All Big Ten, leads the team with 11 goals, 10 goal contributions in 10 games, and the last 3 games has produced the match-winning goal for the Huskies.
His energy is such an infectious asset for this team. That Energizer Bunny you and I referenced, his non-stop motor, one after another, every single run, and want to see him work in front of that back line tonight. We talk about the matchup with he and Niko Markovic. One of the things you will get is an aggressive back line from NC State, and those two center backs, they'll hunt. So as smart as they are, there's going to be space in front that Charlie Kosakov can drag players into. That's where the overload centrally will benefit the Huskies.
Carried by Dale, looks inside. Ramsay has a hit. Erb makes the save. Different for Logan Erb tonight. He was a spectator until late in the second half on Friday.
Understanding it's not a check away, but still you're working in transition as a defender. You're working backwards, and also you're trying to check the angles, and within that, really well done here by Zach Ramsay. This is where he's matured as a player as he gets 25 yards in, and his movement's much better, getting himself forward facing, making himself available for his teammates.
Healey. Donovan Phillip battling Harry Bertos. That's going to be something to watch all night. And Bertos wins the first encounter. Repress from NC State, though, wins it back. Maloney. Santa Maria, who's starting in place of Tyler Caton once again, as Marion referenced earlier. Santa Maria left the match early on Friday night. He had a bit of a knock of his own, but clearly able to go today and is said to be 100%. Isaac Heffis looking long toward Conde.
Already an adjustment defensively. Front line for Washington with Zach Ramsay and Kozakov. Pull back a little bit deeper, almost side by side. Now what that's doing is forcing NC State to the outside, but they're not conceding overall space. They just shift together.
Here they go quickly, the Huskies. Kozakov end line, and out for the first corner of the evening for Washington.
What they're doing is they force an unnatural decision. They're not allowing NC State to keep the ball at their feet because the option's not there. They play direct. They have the numerical mismatch on the back line, pick up passages, and come the other way. Good change so far from the Huskies.
They've had success on restarts, the Huskies. 11 of 51 goals, 22% have come off a restart this season. They're 51 goals among the best in the nation. Eamon drops it in toward Nabalele. Contact at the back post. Goal kick. The FCS semifinals are Saturday, and it starts with a brawl of the wild between Montana and Montana State at noon Eastern on ABC, followed by Villanova and Illinois State on ESPN2. A trip to Nashville for the national championship on the line.
Now comes the cat and mouse. Washington's early adjustment. What's the direction you want to head if you're NC State? And I mentioned the utilization of width. They have the ability to play there, but as Washington shifts, a lot of movement out of the midfield. NC State struggle with that in their opening semifinal. They're really good about picking it up and then working the other direction. And if not, Joe, you can play direct. The problem is you come up over the top to Phillip or Conde, you just have to move the line together and pick up those second balls.
Dale. Fronted by McLean. Dale works it back. That's part of what's made NC State so dangerous all year, just a myriad of ways in which they can beat you, overwhelming at times. Foul is called, this time against McLean. That's 5 already against the Wolfpack. They were quickly up in the double digits back on Friday night. That really impacted the way things unfolded against St. Louis until they were able to readjust in the second half.
Took the rhythm away from the game. Decision-making started to struggle for the Wolfpack. And, you know, the emotional side of the game, that's where these things start to get in the way, right? There's so much noise. You've got family and friends. I mean, this stadium, 10,000 plus once again. You got to just keep yourself calm in your decision-making.
Number still committed forward. Fernandez opens it up for Nabalele. Fernandez went 90 again last game. He was pulled after 19 against Maryland, struggled against the Terrapins in the quarterfinal, but excelled against Furman in the semis. Here's Ramsay in the pocket once again. Dale. Hestad. Curls one in. Erb is there.
That's incredible goalkeeping by Logan Erb. The distance he has to come out to be able to pick this up. Ball moving away from him. Excellent by Hestad. That's where you really commit. If you're Urban, you're going to come up high. Notice the body's in front of him. Full command of the box. Great start for the goalkeeper.
There's the pressure from Washington causing some chaos. showed it to you at home at the top of the broadcast. Every single one of their chances and goals just about the other night came because of the press. Sometimes you get a gift when that happens. The Kosakov goal that made it 2-0. A mistake on the back end by Furman, but all born out of that pressure. Maloney. Slow it down. Tommy, one of the few for NC State that predates Mark Hubbard. In second year for Coach Hubbard, only 4 players on the roster predate Coach Hubbard. Going back to the 2022 season. Mark Hubbard has made 9 straight tournaments of his own now, 7 straight at New Hampshire. Comes here to the Wolfpack and has the same success. Phillip tried to leave it for Maloney. Gets it back. Healey fires out to Tommy. Calum Tommy over toward Phillip. Boatman with it. Had to go quickly. A whistle back behind the play. I believe Boatman was contacted.
Jaden Boatman picks this up right at the top of the 18. Some theatrics by Ibrahim Condé. Take Healey coming over as well, peeled off of it. Knew what he was doing.
Get used to that sound though, whether it's the right call or not. This crowd is going to be letting the Boo Birds fly whenever it's against NC State tonight.
Another game though, 16 and change into a match. It's the first time we've called Tate Healey's name. Again, they just had a passage moments prior that was working to the far side of the field. Instead, they came here, ball rolled out. Mark Hubbard very adamant that he wanted that to continue the opposite direction. Keeps control within the midfield. It keeps balance. You also shift Washington and make them adjust to you instead of keeping it condensed on this near touchline.
Quiet so far, but Healey has risen to the occasion as of late. Foul goes against Condé, the retaliation after the initial call not made.
Felt like there was a foul there, the way he reached back across the shoulder. As much as we've seen on both ends right now, certainly the whistle favoring Washington. Also something that we saw in the semifinal matchup against SLU that Mark Hubbard very clear about. Guys needed to do better, understanding what the environment was. Yes, it got counterbalanced in the second half, but there is a consistency of what is going against NC State right now. You don't have to agree or disagree with the fouls. You have to understand as a player what you can and cannot get away with. And at least right now, 16 minutes and change in, you understand that there's not a lot that's going to favor you. You have to temper your expectations back a little bit about what you're going to be allowed to get away with.
McLean, here's Healey. You mentioned they have to find him a bit more. 3 straight games with a goal now for Tate Healey. Only 1 in the regular season. It was weighing on him, but the assists were still there. Chance now for the Wolfpack, slotted inside. Ricochets to Condé. Maloney, numbers still forward, deflected on the service, and now Boatman could count things down.
This actually came because of indecision. They didn't get Tommy up high initially. Great job by Tate Healey to hold the play up and then allow him to step into the space on the far side of the field. We talk about cutbacks, but in those one-on-one situations, look at all the space that opens up. Most difficult of angles, McLean calibrating. Really well worked by NC State.
End to end, now it's Dale pushing it through, saved by Herb. First thing I said to you tonight, Devin, chaotic in the best of ways is the expectation tonight, opening up now midway through the first half.
Well, guys, you heard the big NC State cheer just then, and that's because defensively, this near touch side is the area that they have been encouraging their team to win in the press, right in front of number 5, Asher Hestad, and number 14, Joe Dale for the Washington Huskies.
So they tend to release Asher Hestad and Joe Dale a little bit higher as you go. What that allows is Zach Ramsay, moments like this, to pick up the ball. Joey creates control centrally, but then the relationship that comes on the far side of the field with Richie Amon. He inverts, you play off of each other. It's also something, though, you win the first one, you bring him in tight near, you have the ability to go opposite direction. NC State really good finding those diagonals.
Amon wasn't as active as normal back on Friday in the win over Furman. Only had one shot, didn't pop up a whole lot. Herman semi-finalist Richie Amon. Chance to get out and go here for the Wolfpack. Healey, Maloney. Markovic not afraid to step up off the back line. Santa Maria slots it through. Lovelace, and Abalele is right there. He is picking up right where he left off with Sato and Abalele back on Friday. And a night where he was maybe the best player on the field in that win over Furman. Conde out wide. Tommy deflected. Second corner now for NC State.
Much better movement. That started from Justin McLean working to the far side of the field. Zach Ramsay had trouble isolating which pressure to step into based upon the player around him. Then he, Drew Lovelace, worked off of each other. That's why you see the end result on the far side of the field with all that space opening up.
First corner was dropped in just about the center of the 6 by Maloney. Boatland was confident, came out and gathered it. Tonight is especially meaningful for Jaden Boatman in goal for Washington. He's the lone member of this Huskies roster that was a part of the group in 2021 that made the national final. Didn't play on that team. Now one of the leaders of this one. Maloney drops it in. Phillip was there. Looked like Bertos got a piece of it. Space for the Huskies. Kosakov calling for it. He was onside his own half of midfield. Not spotted. Now Hestad pulls the trigger on the switch. Intercepted by Tommy. Healey and Conde chasing. Cut off by Bertos.
Richie Amon's got to be careful over there. He's starting to cheat a little bit higher on some of these transitional moments for the Washington Huskies. Right side of your screen right there. You come higher, you concede space. That's fine, assuming Gabe Fernandez is moving with you. But when it starts to come back the other direction, he's conceding way too much real estate. That's allowing NC State to push up high on the far shoulder.
Heffis throws it long. Phillip on the volley. Hoping for something spectacular. Donovan Phillip scored the opening goal for NC State the other night. Good things happen when he does score. He had a bit of a drought in the heart of the season, but NC State 11-0-1 when Donovan Phillip scores here in 2025. He's scored now 3 times in this tournament. A goal contribution in all 4 games to this point.
There's a couple of reasons for that, Joe. You and I have had the opportunity to cover him all season long. Number one, you get hot, right? Become a little bit more consistent, your confidence grows. But as that cooled off, he also ran into much tougher competition in the in-conference games within the ACC, but that has been restored recently. What you want to watch with him, he's become much better and is cognizant of the fact that he's got to drag more players with him. That if he becomes the marked man, make sure he's getting 2 to commit to that space instead of just the one singular runner. That opens up more space for his teammates to step into, something NC State has certainly benefited from over the last 5 matches.
Lovelace, Conde, back to Lovelace. Karam's through for Phillip. Maloney. Lovelace for Healey. Healey on the right foot. Lays it off. Tommy drives it. Huskies come away with it. Amon trying to pace ahead. Dale taken down, out to Hestad. Advantage played. Hestad, back post, knocks square, loose in the middle! Just wide on the deflection, corner. Zach Ramsay opened the scoring for the Huskies the other night, almost did so again tonight.
Really well done, though, by Richie Amon on the far side of the field. Held up possession coming in centrally. That allowed the right flank to come higher, and this is what I was talking about. Now, whether Kosakov is working up high to put pressure or down in the pocket, space is going to be there just in front of the back line. It depends what direction he drags players with him in, and as he works onto that back post, great job by Zach Ramsay stepping into the top of the six.
Amon from the corner. Oh, NC State team this season, the calling card has been defense. Look at the goals against average, .46. Logan Erb and his back line before the season set 2 goals. Keep the goals against average sub .5. So far, checkbox there. The other thing was get 8 clean sheets. That happened very quickly. Then it became 10. Now they've had 15 clean sheets, so they've been excellent defensively all season. Try to counteract that. Washington will make a sub here. Alex Hall comes in for Joe Dale. It was this substitution in the first half on Friday that ultimately led to the Washington goal. Hall had the assist to Ramsay midway through the first half. Heffis comes across for NC State, backing players up into the wall. Within the territory for one of those long throws. Heffis launches. Won't get the flick on. All clever. Kosakov battling. Heffis brought down. Radosov does make the call, foul against the Huskies.
Good defending, though. Really impressive by Isaac Heffis, catching the angle, gets the first step on Charlie Kosakov, and then just uses that shoulder to leverage him off of it. Minor contact on the backside. Not necessarily short. Referee's winning any favors for Washington right now as it starts to go the other way.
Well, we talked about it back on Friday. A lot of early fouls against NC State, and then ultimately there was a correction in the second half. A little bit was allowed to go for NC State, and they were able to live in that gray area a little bit more. Falls for Phillip. Within all the traffic, Phillip. Conde for Healey, just runs by. Just stumbled over the ball that time, Richie Amon. Conde wins it, and Abalele commits the foul, advantage played. Healey, NC State swarming, Healey looking back post, nobody home. The NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship continues through Sunday's national championship match on the networks of ESPN. For more information, log on to ncaa.com, the official online home for every NCAA championship. Got Texas A&M against Pitt at 6:30 Eastern, followed by Wisconsin and Kentucky. Winners of the national final on Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Wolfpack serenaded by the crowd. McLean cuts it back. McLean blocked by Conde. Here's Donovan. Phillip to the end line. Cuts it wide.
Got to be careful here. This comes on the turnover from Alex Hall. Doesn't track back quick enough. If he cheap side, this is very similar to the conversation on the opposite end of the field. You concede space. What that also does is allow the midfield to drift over. You retain possession, you can work numbers up high. That's why you have multiple opportunities inside the top of the 18 here. Hit with a bit of a hope and a prayer with that side of an angle. But really liked the initial positioning there. Justin McLean from NC State to open up both chances.
Hope and a prayer, but a prayer we've seen answered in the past from Donovan Phillip from an angle like that.
Well, the good news is with Alex Hall, 7 from Washington, he'll play a little bit tighter in than what you saw at Joe Dale. Now, it puts more pressure on Asher Hestad, but he'll go on walkabout. Really good cutting to the inside. He'll drag players with him, and he's got excellent vision. It's not only where the opening goal came from in the match against Furman, it was their ability to then retain possession up high due to strength in numbers. This is what you have to be careful of when it does break down, getting back defensively to lock down the channels.
Pair of changes being ready for NC State as Markovic comes away with it. Caden Tolentino and Aiden Payne, a couple of veterans for NC State, are up and ready. Carried by Lovelace, taken away by Anabalele, again popping up in the midfield. Anabalele looking for Kosikov, Herb wise to it, and skies it. They are. Aiden Payne, 15. Aiden Tolentino, 17. Payne, the redshirt junior, part of the program since 2022. Ditto for Tolentino. 2 of the 4 holdovers from Mark Hubbard. Brought back for the free kick for Washington. Advantage never came about.
I hear the brass section going. We ever able to get in touch with anybody from NC State's band? They taking requests tonight, or?
What'd you have in mind?
Got a lot of. I'm not sure that my music select.
Curled in off the free kick. NC State holds strong.
Nice tackle.
Amon drops it back. Hestad. Anabalele calling for it. Doesn't range that far forward often. Tries to knock it down here. Ramsay picks it up. Already one good look tonight for Ramsay. Scored last game. Amon trying to get him more involved. Amon looking through, off the chest, gets end line, cuts it in front. Healey, first to it, brought down from behind. NC State did not like that from Anabalele, but Kalin Radisov says play on. Ramsay charging through. Still Ramsay. Cleared by Heffes.
I thought they had a real argument on that far side. The contact in from behind. How's the control from Richie Amon? Oh, silky smooth from the left winger from Washington. Notice though, we talk about the cutbacks for NC State. Defensively, that's where they're at their best because of their ability to drift back. They organize themselves. Everybody's forward facing to step up in as it comes across.
Those two again. Kosikov, Markovic. Might send each other a Christmas card next week. Herb ends up with it. See the intensity on the face of Markovic. Prototypical. His size, his traits, what's between the ears, what's inside the chest. Stuff you can't teach. Certainly has a future at the next level.
Recognized also he's playing out of position. That's a right footer on the left side of the back line, who not only has a really good foot on the left peg, but then has the ability to come back across his body, spray those diagonals with the natural right-sided peg.
When you got to meet him in person finally the other night, it was looking in a mirror of 24-year-old Devin Kerr, basically.
Yeah. I got better hair, though, just so that we're clear.
Markovic, Defensive Player of the Year, has been there every step of the way as a starter from Canada. His family moved there. Markovic of Serbian descent, was all freshman team last year. And a first-team All-American per United Soccer Coaches here in 2025. Here come those changes for the Wolfpack. Lovelace and Conde giving way for Tolentino and Payne. Throw from the Huskies. A lot of contact in the middle. And Abalele had a chance. Could not pull the trigger as he turned. Guarded tightly by Markovic. Kosakov.
Oh,
Through Maloney.
something.
Kosakov, Hall, and Abalele on the turn. Kosakov was there. Shot goes wide. Another bright moment, though, playing through Kosakov and Abalele.
Super clever from Charlie Kosakov. Notice the hips. Way too open here from Riley Minoni. He's trying to show him down into the channel, understood. But because of the angle that he presents, it's not acute enough. He had weak side support. That's when we have the ability, Joe, you come one step higher and show him towards the sideline instead of playing the game on the angle. No chance that Kosakov's coming around you. Heavy communication on the back line right now. Tommy, Maloney, Markovic, and Hefes from NC State not happy with their overall positioning, and some of the mistakes are being made, like the one we just showed you.
A stray forearm, though, it appears. Draws the whistle. Healey caught by Alex Hall. What you heard before that, though, was our first very audible "Let's Go Huskies" chant of the evening. This foul, though, will stymie it. Just as it seemed Washington was starting to gather momentum toward the end of this first half. No doubt there. Colleen Radisov all over it. Straight hand in the face of Tate Healey. From Southampton, New Hampshire. Got to see him walk out onto the field for warm-ups, basically arm in arm with his head coach, Mark Hubbard. He played for Coach Hubbard at New Hampshire for 2 years. Now here for 2 years. They go back to their youth days as well, or rather Healey's youth days playing in the academy. That was spearheaded at one point by Mark Hubbard. These two have known each other for well over a decade now.
What a touch that is from Ramsay.
Heyman. They're missing Kosakov. He was the one fouled at midfield, but advantage played. Heyman looking for support, calling for the overlap from Fernandez. Lofi. Fernandez. Eyeing up across. Phillip is calling for it. That's his way. The whistle never blew. Now it does as Phillip is taken wide. And as you said, Devin, first card of the evening and Abalele in the book.
Do wonder if there's anything left over from the challenge on the far side of the field from Enabalele. They played advantage, possibly a no call, but something that definitely sat in the referee's mind. I understand what Enabalele's trying to do here. There's so much space. He feels like he's got the jump. The problem is that half step, he's probably another millisecond from being sent off. If that boot comes higher, he's in real trouble in the challenge of Riley Maloney, but it is the right decision. Stays low, yellow card, and then back to business.
Maloney dusts himself off, back up to his feet. Good to see. Mark Hubbard calling Niko Markovic over for some instructions. Feels like a road game, a true road game for Jamie Clark's boys, but that's where they feel at home. They have gone this tournament each step of the way on the road. Phillip, Healey, Payne making the run through. Healey for Tolentino. McLean for Healey. Santa Maria. This is where they're dangerous, connecting at the edge of the 18. Healey's always a threat to pull the trigger. Phillips always looking to make the run through. The real danger, though, comes from getting wide in that cutback ball if they can get out wide. Tommy's starting to make that run. Intercepted, well read by Fernandez. Everything has been even so far. 7 shots to 4 in favor of NC State. A pair of shots on target either way. Still scoreless with just over 5 remaining in this first half. Happy to have you with us this evening from Cary alongside Devin Kerr and Joe Malfa. 2 subs up and ready for the Huskies. Kevin Hernandez, Nick O'Brien. See whose numbers are called in a moment. Threaded through, Eamon. Corner, the end result. Third corner now for Washington. Richie Eamon positions it again. Eamon, 13 assists on the season for the Big Ten midfielder of the year. Eamon drops it in. Free header for Lofi.
The instruction on the sideline from both head coaches. We'll start with Washington. It's been more personnel related, not a whole lot of tactical adjustments wanting to be made looking at their available roster, seeing which players could really impact as this game progresses. For NC State, it's been more positional nuances, bringing different players over, trying to adjust their position even in the slightest of millimeters, and also some qualms with the referee.
Shocked by the ones with the referee on the back end. Marion making friends down there on the sideline, always appreciative of that. To her point about the positioning, though, one of the changes bringing Tolentino in for Lovelace, that was the communication given to Lovelace. McLean has done a really good job working off of Healey, trying to find link-up play with Santa Maria. And although they found space on that right flank, that's primarily because of the other 3, and then Tommy coming high. What they need is balance. Whether it was Lovelace or Tolentino, that will then create a multifaceted attack where you can always use the left. Pretty much everything we've seen in the build right now has been down that right flank.
Similar position right now for NC State as they were in on Friday. They were scoreless at halftime of their win against SLU. Washington, though, in some different waters. They were leading 2-0 at this point against Furman a couple of nights ago.
That run right there, that's such an excellent run. You know, we talk about balance. Mentioned about 5 minutes in how Washington had changed their look. It comes a little bit flat up top. Within that, said you could play direct, be aggressive off the back line. You get more movement from Santa Maria. Then you start to drag space with you. You get the opening ball, and then you can play off of it. Those are those millimeters and better decisions that Mark Hubbard, head coach of NC State, is looking for. You don't get anything out of it, but it also leaves some decision-making to be made on that front line of personnel for Washington defensively.
Here go the Huskies again to the end line and out for a goal kick. To that point, though, Devin, of these 2 teams, it's NC State who are usually more apt at the halftime adjustment to
Agreed.
really pay dividends in the first 15 minutes or so of the second half.
But Jamie Clark in the first half has made better adjustments so far. Now, neither team really has incredible chances on goal to look at. However, we've seen both angles and central for Washington in this first half where they've been able to attack. Not as many and certainly not as frequent for NC State.
cliche as it is, we always talk about the importance of the opening goal. It's particularly important tonight. Washington 12-0-0 when scoring first. NC State 15-0-3 when scoring first. 85 seconds remaining in this first half with which to find that opening goal. Otherwise, lengthy discussions at the break. Here's an opportunity now for the Huskies. Herb off his line, wins it, and that is empty. Toward goal and in! Washington strikes! It's Zach Ramsay with the moment!
NC State have struggled on the back line with communication. Just mentioned it 5 minutes ago. Logan Herb and the entire back four not happy with their overall positioning. Mark Hubbard not happy with the players in front of him. And it's exactly how this ball plays out. Credit to the pressure once again from Washington as it does come up over the top. You're hitting the release valve here. All you're looking to do is reset your defensive line. We saw the same thing against Furman. Markovich playing the player instead of the ball, and because of that, it enables Washington to get in behind. Could Herb have been more disruptive? Should he have stayed at home? That's nitpicky. What does matter is, once again, the advanced positioning of Zach Ramsay and the 10 spot is the absolute firecracker that sends this team up in arms. Beautiful follow-up by Ramsay. Great vision, and then the touch to weight it perfectly for the opener.
44th minute for Zach Ramsay. Within all that, Mark Hubbard did pick up a yellow card for NC State. And as I was just mentioning, Washington 12-0-0 when scoring first. NC State do not have a come-from-behind victory this season. Yellow was shown over the bench of Washington as well. Work on getting who that yellow was for the Huskies in a moment. But a minute to go in this half, and this game has changed completely now. Huskies taking that 1-0 lead. This changes all the discussions at the break as well. Maloney over the top toward Phillip. That one might come down with snow on it with 10 seconds to go in this first half. Markovich flicks on. That runs out of play, and that'll do it for this first half in the national final. Washington, 4 years after heartbreak, take a 1-0 lead into the break.
NC State has to have better communication. Will lead to better movement, better opportunities going forward. Didn't have enough of it in the first half. Washington stayed the truest we've seen out of any team in this College Cup so far. Very consistent. Have to maintain that calming disposition when they're off the ball defensively to maintain this lead.
Washington perfect this season when scoring first at 12-0-0. Logan Herb with the misstep. And we are joined now on the field, Marion Crowder with Mark Hubbard.
Mark, how'd you feel about your decision making in that first half?
Decision making on the ball. I think we knew it was going to be pretty much a back and forth affair. A lot of second ball type of stuff and trying to get them away from these transitional moments where they can run at us. The last goal, just unfortunate footing, little bang bang out of absolutely nothing. So that's disappointing. We have to regroup and come out refocused.
You got 45 minutes to equalize this one. How do you turn some of those sustained moments of possession in the final third into quality chances?
Yeah, we got to use our width a little bit more. I think we can get around them and get into situations where we can drive the byline a little bit more, and then it just comes into those service moments and whether we can pick up things at the top of the box and get them on target.
Thanks, good luck.
All right, thank you.
First ever meeting between the Huskies and the Wolfpack. One of these two teams will end the night with their first ever national championship, and it's the Huskies who strike first. leading 1-0 at the break. Marion Crowder, Patty Falls have you covered at the break. Intense first half between Washington and NC State. Blows traded back and forth literally and figuratively, but the one that landed late in the first half, Zach Ramsay's opening goal, second game in a row that he opened the scoring for the Huskies. A 1-0 lead for Washington at the break. Send it down to the field. It's Marion Crowder standing by with Huskies head coach Jamie Clark.
Jamie, what a brilliant start for your team. What was the encouragement like in the locker room?
We just said we don't know what it's going to change. They're either going to play more or they're going to be more direct. So if they play more, we got to get our pressure and step up. If we're not and they're being big on us, we got to pick up second balls and play. Either way, we got to be brave and keep our line high.
This has been a rowdy crowd, something similar like you guys faced in Maryland. How pleased are you with the response from the boys so far?
We're away games the whole way, and this is no different. It's fantastic for college soccer to see it.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
He mentioned they might play more. They might be more direct. If you're NC State, what are you doing, Devin?
Playing direct. You and I were just talking about it downstairs. I'm playing direct because you have the advantage on the physical side. You're going to win the battle if you go an aerial route because everybody else is much taller. And also, the physical side tends to spark the emotion more, both positively for NC State and negatively for Washington. Go assert some dominance within the start of this second half to give yourself some momentum and start the comeback.
Something else to keep in mind for the Wolfpack, when they do go direct and they win those second balls, those are the moments where Healey really hits his stride. Now, we didn't say that name enough in the first half, Healey. We'll see if they can get him more involved.
That's the movement in the midfield. Again, we Mark Hubbard on the width, he talked about needing more of a representation there. Certainly it's going to help create the chances and bring the quality up. But within all of that, movement in the midfield is how you get Healey on the ball. Whether it's working off the back line or the secondary balls that you're going to pick up, more movement from NC State. And if I'm Washington, by the way, I'm just keeping the game in front of me right now. I'm making NC State think about what they want to do instead of showing them a path to victory.
NC State left to right in the white, Washington right to left in the black. The Red Terror supporter section for the Wolfpack have made the long trek down the other end to continue harassing Jaden Boughton. And we are underway in half number 2 of the national final. Washington 1, NC State nothing. We crown a champion in 45 minutes. Happy to have you with us on ESPNU. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Joe Malfa. It's a first national championship for either of these programs. For Washington, it's the first men's team national title in school history. For NC State, it's the first men's team national title since Jim Valvano's 1983 basketball team. Contact, edge of the area. Harry Berto says no. So does the referee, Colleen Radosov. Richie Amon back the other way. Amon through. Dale is there, cut off. Zach Ramsay, the goal scorer for Washington, currently off the field to begin this second half. It's Dale back out there in his spot. Conde. Long throw comes in from Heffis. Loose in the mix. McLean was there. Shout for a handball. McLean shot blocked. Over the top from Santa Maria. Boughton has it. Sometimes they just muck it up, NC State. It's how they've gotten big goals at times this season. A lot of numbers forward.
It's going to change the dynamics in the midfield for Washington a little bit. in the absence of Zach Ramsay. Now, not surprising, they did this in the semifinal match against Furman to give him a break. Joe Dale's a bit more linear in nature. His work rate is going to be what's key here to put pressure in central locations for NC State, but you're not going to get as much creativity. That's okay. You got Richie Amon and Alex Hall to work off of right now. Similar conversation for Kevin Hernandez next to Connor Lofi. Pairing side by side, that's just about space in a relationship and making sure you have a chance to work off of each other, but also adjust to the runners coming on the inside for NC State.
Third corner for the Wolfpack. Maloney once again over to take it. Blows the whistle before the service. Boatman still crashed into by Conde. They'll do it again. Corner did not count. Concern though for Boatman. He took a hard spill.
And the whistle was already done as well. Thought he took an elbow across the head there by Ibrahim Conde. Both challenging for the ball. It's not negligent. It's not a flying elbow by the striker.
These are the moments where you expect the intensity to pick up in this second half with the title on the line, feeding off the emotions from the crowd, no doubt, as well. Packed house here in Cary. Important for both these teams to keep their heads. NC State struggled a couple of times this year. One of their 2 losses, they went down a man against Virginia early in that game, cost them mightily. As I mentioned in the first half, Colleen Radisov, very experienced, respected referee, reigning referee of the year in MLS Next Pro, previously referee of the year in USL, had the whistle for the MLS Next Pro final in 2023, as well as the college national semifinal on the men's side in 2023. This is his first national final in men's college soccer. Well earned for Colleen Radisov. After a lengthy discussion, time for the corner from Maloney. Drops it in, a lot of traffic, Boatman with it.
After that semifinal matchup where Jaden Boaten guys just faced 2 shots, conceded 1, he said, I think I'm going to be a little bit busier in this next game, and that's actually been true. But Jamie Clark feels like this is a game where he can showcase his talent, stating that Boaten is the best aerial goalkeeper in the country, and for an NC State team who plays for service, this is where he can shine.
Considering your current opposition is 6'1", Conde at 6'2", midfielders, both McLean and Lovelace, 6 foot apiece. He's certainly got his work cut out for him. Excellent control so far for the goalkeeper from Washington.
Same can't be said the other way for Logan Erb. Concedes a corner here. Amon drops it in. Erb fumbles it, but he was fouled.
A little surprised the whistle was blown here, unless it was this elbow on the back end. Away from the body, possibly from Asher Hestad. Watch the right side of your screen as you start to explode through. Elbow comes up a little bit.
Right there.
Got to be that, yeah. Much better angle of the infraction from Asher Hestad from Washington. And if he comes straight up there, Joe, or even if the arm just comes down, he's not going to get in trouble. Just because it flares away from the body, referee had good positioning on it.
Now Conde with a knock to the head. Comes from Kevin Hernandez. Well, we said it'd be physical. And again, in the crucible of a national championship game, you expect it to continue to rise as the game goes on. There's Donovan Phillip. As is typical, he begins the second half on the bench. ACC Offensive Player of the Year this year. He comes on right around the half-hour mark, so figure another 9 minutes or so of a break for Phillip. Corner for the Wolfpack. Look around this stadium. There are not many fans sitting down. Part of that, the excitement of the night, part of that trying to stay warm on your feet. But those that are standing are ready to raise their voices if the Wolfpack can provide an equalizer here early in half number 2. Dropped in toward Conde, still loose. Out to Healey, settles, take Healey, deflected. Washington can catch their breath for a second. Lovelace tried to settle. Washington comes away with it through Amon. Justin McLean, the transfer from Georgia State, making his 19th start tonight. 3 goals, 4 assists. Feels like there might be something in this game for him. We've called his name a number of times. There he is again, McLean. On the ricochet. Took his eye off of it.
Problem for Justin McLean is he can't do it all by himself. And you talk about the counterpart on the other side, Drew Lovelace. Positional movement underneath with Santa Maria. I want more out of that young man right there. Take Healey. He's frustrated, understandably. There's the wave off after the fact. He's got to keep his head up and keep moving here if he wants to help get his team back in this match.
Amon pulling away from Santa Maria. Amon end line. And the assistant referee on the far side raised the flag. The ball was out for a goal kick before. It would have been a corner. Amon ticked too slow and cutting it back.
It's good defending overall. Also, what he's trying to do here, Richie Amon, he's waiting for Charlie Kosakoff to get into the box. He had checked underneath and then had to work back against the grain to give himself an option. It's good vision, good patience. Unfortunately, just a bit off. Love the personalities between both of these teams. You and I get an opportunity to sit down with all the players on Thursday, media day. Richie Amon, unfortunately for him, was the brunt of a lot of defensive jokes by his teammates. I think the 13 assists makes up for it.
We also learned that day that Zach Ramsay had an aerospace test, which he passed, and he's scored now in back-to-back games since he passed that test.
Goalkeeper from NC State, Logan Erb, averages a tattoo one every semester or so. Is that what we figured out?
Has an appointment Thursday, hoping to add a national title tattoo as well. That one out for a Wolfpack corner. Fifth corner. Ten minutes into the second half, Maloney drops it near post. Wasteful in the end.
Certainly tell you the biggest change for Washington here in the second half. It's not about personnel. Charlie Kosakoff, who was winning all types of awards for his bravery in the first half. Short socks, short sleeves, took his gloves off. He's going with tights now. Long sleeves. What a touch that was.
It's a fine line, though, between bravery and stupidity, perhaps, on a night like this. We'll call it bravery.
Story of my life.
That ball was out for a throw for the Huskies. This crowd has not relented, trying to once again get the boys in white going. Huskies trying to silence this crowd. Another save for Logan Erb. Awkward hit from Erb. Eamon wins it, looking for Kosakov. Lovelace almost snuck it through for Healey. Now it's Dale for Kosakov. Flag stays down. Kosakov fronted by Markovic. Feeds it for Hestad. Asher Hestad, the confident man from the goal he scored a couple of nights ago, but not this time.
Good hold-up play, though, from Charlie Kosakov as he works away, allowing this back line to push up high. Certainly one you want to bring back here if you're wearing a Huskies jersey, but as he works in, it starts to condense the back line. This is where Washington has really been impressive en route to the College Cup final. Maintained possession up high, better decision making, while certainly the ladder got in the way there. It's a good movement from the Huskies.
Tig Healey hasn't seen the ball much in these types of spaces, was looking for Lovelace. Fernandez. Eamon chips it back to Fernandez, who gives it away. What has made this Washington team so good in this tournament, when they have leads, they do not sit back. They continue to keep the pressure on. Maryland succumbed to it 2 matches ago. Furman succumbed to it last game. 1-goal leads often become 2-goal leads for the Huskies. Lovelace opens it up, plenty of space for Maloney on the far side. Had the assist on Tig Healey's goal on Friday, finds Healey now. Heffis. Santa Maria. Caleb Tommy past Richie Eamon. Tommy. Lovelace. Cut out. Well done by Bertos, who slips though on the end line. Tommy beyond McLean. It's been a tale of getting close in the attacking third for NC State, but not quite connecting. Dale calling for it on this near side as Hestad pulls away. A little tug from behind by McLean. Space to be had for Washington in behind on these counters. Like 23.
Yeah, sure it does.
It also feels like the Huskies fans are starting to sense what may be 30 minutes from now. Their team and family section is below us, but their serenades now being overshone by the Wolfpack chant. Kosakov trying to find his way through.
He just doesn't stop, does he? Charlie Kosakov, great work rate again by the 9.
The opposing 9, Conde comes over to get it. Donovan Phillip looks on in the background. He is set to check back in for the Wolfpack. Lovelace. Conde. Lovelace barrels into Richie Eamon. Should give Donovan Phillip a chance to come back onto the field, and it will. So the return of Phillip, they've missed him while he's been off the field. Offensive player of the year this year. Donovan Phillip has been backstopped by Logan Erb at the other end, the goalkeeper of the year. Mistake in the first half from Logan Erb turned into the Washington goal. We'll see now if Donovan Phillip can help get that back for NC State.
He replaces number 11, Frankie DiFrancesco.
Conde. Healey. Phillips making the run. Healey looking that way. Donovan Phillip. Robles. Tommy. Caleb Tommy, the ball into Conde. Good defending by Bertos. Feels re-energized, NC State, just with the reinsertion of Donovan Philippin in this match. Crowd certainly sounds that way.
NC State has done a good job of getting back on the ball. Washington, moments like that, they got to step higher, play more aggressively. They're conceding too much space, and they can't sit that deep. NC State's too good on the ball.
Amon with numbers. Amon to the end line. Amon in front! It's 2 for Washington!
What recognition this is by the midfield from Washington. Connor Lofi, take a bow. His understanding, the touch coming back across the body to prohibit Santa Maria, and you're off and running. Unselfish by the 9 and Kosakov. Now look at the runners. You've created 1v1s. You let your workman do his best. Richie Amon in one-on-one situations, arguably on the wing, the best in the country. The hesitation opens up the space on the inside, leading to the back shoulder run. Mid-level pressure, high-level execution. Huskies double it.
Joe Dale, pumped up, second of the season. Think of the 3 players who all combined for that goal. Lofi won it, Amon assisted it, Dale scored it. Those 3 started every game this year for the Huskies. 3 of 4 players on Washington to start every game. 3 of your biggest guys coming up in the biggest moment. Step down the field with Marion Crowder for more.
Yeah, Joe, after that goal, it was a moment of silence from the NC State coaching staff. Then it was Mark Hubbard telling the players on the field to gather together and sort it out. He then looked to the bench and told them to stand to their feet right now.
They had a big heart-to-heart after their 3-0 loss to Syracuse in the ACC tournament. Lasted an hour and a half. Everybody got something off their chest. Now they have 27 minutes and 23 seconds. Try and prevent that same end result now in the national final. Quick and short from the free kick. Healey swerves it in. Phillip knocks it down. It is out for a corner. Corner 6 for NC State. Santa Maria, Healey. Healey in the volley, jump on handle, ball still loose. Edge of the area, a lot of traffic in front. That could have gone anywhere, but it goes wide. Floated again, boat in there, ball still loose. Wolfpack looking to respond, crowd trying to will it on. They have not come from behind to win a game this season. Markovich blocked. Maloney settling. Hefis, back post, Phillip there, the knocked goal, Bowman with it securely.
I'll tell you this much, if Washington get out of here with the title, they have been unreal when the ball's gone up high. Their aerial presence on paper, Joe, you and I would both agree, no chance that they're winning these 50-50 balls as consistently as they're able to do. over the course of the evening, but positioning absolutely perfect, and the step-ups at the right point in time so far, very impressive for the Huskies.
They're going to get everything thrown at them, Washington, these next 25 minutes. So it's important they continue on with what you were just saying. Donovan Phillip took an elbow to the head from Harry Bertos. Colleen Radosov stops the clock, waves the trainers on.
They both stepped up into it. There's no elbow there. Incidental contact, both drifting into each other. It's hard for me to see a whistle in that situation.
The elbow never came up toward the head. It might have gotten into the chest of Donovan Phillip, but I'm with you. There wasn't a whole lot there. It seemed like both players, for the most part, went straight up.
Bertos' arm, though, is right next to his torso. That's my argument there of why I don't see a whistle, and also why you see the frustration by the center back, who also shares a relationship with Mark Hubbard, Harry Bertos, Richie Amon, best friends, with not just one but two players on the opposition tonight. Mark Hubbard, the head coach, and Take Healey. All three of them played on a youth team together, certainly understanding of what the individual traits are of each other.
Healey on his preferred left foot here, goes toward goal. Conde deflects it, edge of the area, Santa Maria, it's blocked. Donovan Phillip! A response for the Wolfpack on the road back!
After giving up the second, Mark Hubbard, head coach of NC State, said, everybody up. Emotion, character, and what he has said all season long to his players, belief. Now they're gonna take a look at this as to whether or not there was a foul in the box. Numbers galore as this ball got recycled back inside the top of the 18. Left side of your screen as you start to push through. Wondered if Phillip pushed off. Don't see it there, not whatsoever. The first angle that we had, you can see the arm away from the body, but no, that's never going to be a foul. Instead, how's the ingenuity by Donovan Phillip? The issue he had to deal with this season, being a marked man, dealing with quality of opponent, has been on an absolute tear come postseason time.
Radosov chatting now with fourth official Kyle Johnson. Let's hear the announcement.
Decision in the field goal stands, no violent conduct.
Interesting, violent conduct is what they were looking for. Something that would actually rise to the level of a red card. We didn't see anything there. Clearly there wasn't. It's a goal for NC State.
Which would have been that push out that I was talking about. Certainly you can't review it if it's just a foul itself. It would have to be violent conduct. But again, I was going back to the arms of Donovan Phillip.
Oh, this actually might have been what they were looking for as well. Conde coming out of the goal, charging into Harry Bertos. Maybe that's why the terminology was violent conduct, and it was actually that rather than the foul that would negate the goal. In any event, we kick off again with 24:30 remaining in a brand new game. NC State trailing by 1. This crowd is ferocious, trying to spark this comeback. And at this point now, something has got to give. Washington is 12-0-0 when scoring first this year. NC State is 11-0-1 when Donovan Phillip scores. Joe Dale, Justin McLean, the subject of this talking to. Still more than enough time for NC State to come back into this one and find the leveler. They have not come from behind to win a game this season. That's not from 1 down or 2 down or 3 down, none, period. Tempers are certainly flaring here. This was after that last play. McLean And giving a little pre-holiday hug to Joe Dale.
Look more of a waltz. Not sure you could get away with it in this weather.
Mark Hubbard and his players talked about this crowd being a 12th man. That is certainly coming into play in this one. Maloney drops it back. Lined up through traffic and saved by Bowen. Don't know when he saw that, if he did, but he kept it out. A lot of traffic and screens in front. Phillip. McLean or Conde. Bolton tracking and has it. Taking kindly to how long Bowen took to get that ball back into play. Eamon wins it. Diagonal from Estad almost finds Richie Eamon. Washington throw.
Love the patience here by Tay Healey as he steps back up, draws two players with him, allowing Justin McLean to step right through it. Excellent strike. And to your point, all the bodies in front, that's perfect technique. Bowden would like to pick that up, but due to the elements, the distance, the pace that's put on it, and all the bodies, excellent goalkeeping.
Akulov. Hall. Well won by Tate Healey, tracking back defensively.
That's a ball.
Flag will stay down here. Dale was onside. He was kept on by Markovic, who wins it anyway. The NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship continues through Sunday's National Championship match on the networks of ESPN. For more information, log on to ncaa.com for the official online home of every NCAA championship. You get Texas A&M against Pitt at 6:30 Eastern, and then you have Wisconsin and Kentucky. Winners will meet in the national final on Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
Just keep an eye on the midfield for Washington right now. One of the storylines coming in that was very late to show up on the radar, Connor Lofi hasn't been able to keep any food down for the last 36 hours. Said that they woke up Saturday morning, struggled for food, thought maybe.
Phillip turns, Phillip toward goal. Boatman with it.
Thought maybe they could get 15, 20 minutes out of him. Well, he went about 60, 65. Now that they've come back in, the relationship from Kevin Hernandez and Zach Ramsay is off. They don't have as much balance. Joe Dale in the 10 spot is pushing too high. What that's doing is, on second balls like this, NC State doing a real good job picking it up, maintaining control. Got to bring Joe Dale back in. I would pull Kosakoff in the 9 a little bit deeper as well. That's where they were at their best defensively.
Caleb Tommy looking through. Healey cuts it off. Lovelace is there. Zach Ramsay gets it clear to Eamon. Some words from Caleb Tommy shouted down at Richie Eamon as he gets up. If you didn't know this was the national final, the intensity gives it away with each passing moment. The tackles, the balls played through, the crowd reacting to minute things they wouldn't normally react to on a random Tuesday in the regular season. It's a first ever national title for either program tonight. Markovic wins it from Kosakoff. Maria. Tommy. Check over the shoulder from Healey, back to Tommy. Markovic. Everybody back right now for Washington, pinned in. NC State with the momentum, fell behind 2-0. Didn't take long to respond. Donovan Phillip with his 4th goal of the tournament. Tommy angles it in. Settled. McLean couldn't get the shot off. Bounces favorably here for NC State at the end line, and it will be a corner. Right in front of the Red Terrors, corner number 7 for the Wolfpack. Short, Santa Maria didn't get there in time. Can he rescue this? Chip toward goal. Donovan Phillip is there, but Boatman plucks it out of the air. Wants to go quickly here. Oh, he had a man. Richie Amon was out toward midfield. Kosikov calling for it. Takes himself offside. Inside instead to Dale. Conde looking for Phillip over the top. Bertos cuts it off.
That's well done, though. Cary Bertos coming all the way across. Not an easy matchup against Donovan Phillip. So physically imposing. That long touch to drop the shoulder, turn the corner. Excellent defending just prior to it, and then gives him a chance to play out.
Space for Gabe Fernandez. Amon with an assist already. Amon earns a corner. Caught Heffes lunging in. Restoring a 2-goal lead would help the Huskies breathe a lot easier. So incidentally, 3-1, their scoreline each of the last 2 games over Furman and Maryland. They'd like to make it 3 for 3. Amon, near post. Ramsay, who opened the scoring, carries it in. A mistake in the end, out for a goal kick. Mentioned earlier in the game that some of the 2021 crew that had the heartbreak back in that national final, well, there's no heartbreak tonight. Hearts are full. Ryan Saylor, part of that team, is getting married tonight. It's why they're not here. Jamie Clark went back and forth. He was like, come on, man, you couldn't have scheduled your wedding for any other day. You didn't think we were going to be playing in the final that night? But congratulations to Ryan Saylor and the missus who are huddled around watching us tonight, hoping the Huskies can take this home. It's been 17 minutes since Washington's last shot. NC State brought it back within a goal. What color is this card going to be? It was straight from behind. It's a yellow. Alex Hall in the book. NC State was pleading for more just because, again, the nature of it, straight from behind. Let's see.
Actually felt like it was a little bit more angled than the dead on because of the cutback across.
Number 7, Alex Hall.
Certainly doesn't get the ball, though, does he? Alex Hall immediately pointing to it, but it was all contact with Justin McLean. Again, defensively staying tight inside if you're Washington, just condensing the lines a tad further. You don't want to sit 35 yards from your own goal. You don't have the ability. NC State will tiki-taka right around you, but you also don't want to concede as much as you've done through the 6. Santa Maria, better job now. Diamond, more active. The channels, more present. And what has become full control on the back line for Nico Markovic and Isaac Hefes. Problem is, scoreboard is not what they're looking for. Still 2-1.
With a quarter of an hour remaining, still 2-1. Wolfpack searching. Glad to have had you with us this evening on ESPNU, alongside the ex-German pro Devin Kerr, joined by Marion Crowder down on the field. Joe Malfa with you for the action. Washington struck first near the end of the first half, turned it into a 2-goal lead near the midpoint of this second half. NC State did not wait long to respond to cut the deficit back to 1. Donovan Phillips scored it. Here he is again. Healey, always looking to get to that left foot so he can do that. Maloney looking for Conde, no trouble there.
I'll tell you what, field has held up well. You and I were quite concerned. Pre-game, down ground level, ice starting to pop up. What was interesting was you stood in one spot long enough, some of the moisture would actually pop out, and that compressed grass was frosting over much easier. But players haven't really seemed to have an issue with traction, have they?
Not
and
to
both
this point.
coaches saying they weren't exactly sure
Right.
how they wanted to handle it. Do you want to go longer studs? The problem is, in-game, if you run into that, the ground gets too hard, you can't stick in. If you go shorter too early, you don't have the ability to maintain traction either. But the field and the grounds crew, top quality so far.
And to illustrate that, you mentioned that you would have gone long studs. Patty Foss, our colleague, walked over and he said he would have gone short studs. So there was already right between you a little bit of bickering, as there typically is. Dropped in by Maloney. A lot of traffic there. Bowen comes through. No foul called. It is out for a corner. Washington apoplectic. Felt that Bowen was fouled, and this should be going the other way, but now a chance again on a set piece for NC State.
He's certainly adventurous here in this situation. That's not a foul, though. Not whatsoever. Just a tall body sitting in front of him with Aiden Payne. He actually has to pull up because of his defender, and he can't get that full reach that he's looking for, Jaden Bowden.
Eighth corner. Santa Maria's gone short the last couple of times. Maloney is there for that short option. They use it again. Santa Maria. Phillips snaps it down. No deflection, goal kick. A dozen minutes remaining here in Cary. What has been a packed house. Highest men's attendance since 2004, 10,500 in this stadium tonight. The best ever men's crowd in Cary. That's what happens when one of the two participants is from 5 miles up the road. A university looking for its first men's team title since Jimmy V's team back in 1983 on the hardwood. Donovan Phillip trying to sneak it through for Tag Healey. Stumble from Hall, who has a yellow and has to be careful not to lunge in there. Fernandez. Effis settles. Back to Herb. Maloney stands up Hall, but Hall wins it. Eamon's calling for it on this near side for the switch. Hall couldn't get it there on his right foot. Still the Huskies with 11 to go. Insurance would be nice. Hernandez gets it back. Ramsay. Gabe Fernandez wide for Richie Amen. Amen slaloming through. Richie Amen again to the end line. Amen in front. Herb has it.
Joe Devin, since the 70th minute, the Washington Huskies coaching staff has been trying to sort out what they want to change in the midfield. When Aiden Payne, number 15 for NC State, came in, they said on the sideline, they're going to get even bigger now, guys. And finally, with almost 10 minutes left to go, they're finally about to make 2 changes.
I go back to the relationship between Zach Ramsay and Kevin Hernandez. There's just too much of a gap between them. Enabalele, who's standing just down in front of us, 21, black jersey, right side of your screen, would solve that problem. The interesting conversation here is, and this is what they did at the end against Furman, the ability at your outside back positions, either Asher Hested or Game Fernandez. With Fernandez coming off, Zach Meyer will come to the left back spot. He's more of a lockdown one-on-one defender that's going to have some fresh legs here, and he is a bit taller than Game Fernandez. Now that's not saying a ton for Zach Meyer, but he can be a little bit more physical on Donovan Phillip, especially as the game continues to trend that way.
We tick under 10 in the national final. Huskies came heartbreakingly close in 21. It was their first ever national final. They ended up as the runners-up. Heffis. Tommy pressures and it yields a corner. Ninth corner for the Wolfpack as the pressure mounts. Jamie Clark hoping the men wearing black can hold on. 15 years at the helm would be his first national title. Again, short off the corner, through toward Maloney. He seemed to think there was somebody else there, and the Huskies clear. That's back-to-back games now that the Wolfpack have struggled on their set pieces. Markovic. Diagonal toward Conde, he leaves it for Healey. This is a 10th corner now for NC State. Get the sense that Jaden Bolton is going to have to come up big at least one more time. The lone holdover, poetically, from that 2021 team who tasted firsthand the sting of that defeat. Maloney, good service there, punches away. He was fouled, shoved into his net. Clock ticks under 8.
It's good pressure just in front of Jaden Bolton. The problem is hands away, pushing after the fact, the elbow up there. The challenge over the right side actually seemed to carry more weight than that one does, although you do back into the goalkeeper, always going to help him inside his top of his 6.
Ramsay as a runner at the back post, might have been deflected. Referees say no, goal kick. So look at how we got here. The goals in the second half, Washington took a 2-0 lead.
Richie Amon just continues to amaze in one-on-one positions down at the byline. Great little cutback across. Very similar to what we saw in the quarterfinal against Maryland. NC State did not back off. Mark Hubbard saying, I want energy, I want everybody out. They had 8 players inside the top of the 18 to pull back within 1. And we've been at a deadlock ever since.
Mark Hubbard watches. The turnaround he's had for this program cannot be understated. A pair of 6-win seasons before he arrived. A program that had not made the tournament 15 out of the last 20 tries. He breaks the 3-decade drought of making the 3rd round last year. He gets them to their 2nd College Cup and 1st national final this year. 6 minutes to rescue a possible trophy. Off the long throw, cleared by Washington. Those moments loom larger now. McLean not connecting with Santa Maria. Meyer, subbed on moments ago. He's tripped up. Free kick awarded.
He's exhausted, Charlie Kosakov.
Rightfully so.
He is put some kind of oil change in before this game and has tacked off the odometer all night long. Give him credit. Guy never stops.
Healey deflected as he was looking for Callum Tommy. Here's Eamon. There's a brief moment there where it looked like he could have slipped it through for Zach Ramsay. Hernandez out to Hestad. 4.5 remaining. And Abalele. Akalov. Hestad cemented it with a goal on Friday, made it 3-0 at the time. Inside, Ramsay looks to slip it through for an Abalele, some contact there.
A smart foul by Zach Ramsay. A little surprised doesn't pick up a card in the process. Good sustained possession from Washington. Don't think they needed to push it in there though, Joe. Had the ability to stand on it and continue to make NC State chase. They've gifted it back though.
First ever meeting between these programs comes with everything on the line. A first national championship for either. Tommy works it through McLean. Healey! Tag Healey! Rescuing it for NC State!
This is what happens. You tempt fate when you sit this deep, this often, and just gave a lifeline on the opposite end of the field. You're NC State, you want to win this game, got to have control on the inside, but you got to have a presence down in the channel. The comeback in the semifinal was Maloney and Tommy again. One-on-one, notice he doesn't force the issue. Instead, the hold-up play by guess who? Justin McLean, all night long. So consistent on the unfavored foot from Tag Healey, but perfect positioning. Centered hips, steps right through it. Goalkeeper's working back across, and instead, Tag Healey has set the Wolfpack even.
Poetic that it's Healey. The man that Mark Hubbard has known the longest from his youth days in New Hampshire, who went to New Hampshire with Hubbard, who came to NC State with Hubbard. Staring defeat in the face in the national final. Tag Healey rescues it. Level again, 3 to play. Huskies again, saved by Aaron. Nearly an immediate response. How about the head on Healey's shoulders? We asked him personally on Thursday how much his goalless drought in the regular season weighed on him. He didn't score until late in the season. He's got 4 in 4 games now, all in a row in the tournament when it matters most. None bigger than that one. Here he is again. Healey cleaned up, clean tackle by his childhood friend Harry Bertos.
That's a big boy tackle on the timing from Harry Bertos. Clean too. All the way from the left center back spot. Oh my. Textbook from Harry Bertos in Washington.
Again, those two the best of friends growing up, playing club together. Eamon was there with them, the third man in that trio. Here he is. Eamon brought down, free kick, edge of the area.
Richie Amen gets away with one here. It's an incredible run, to be clear. Good little cut back to the inside. We've seen it storyboarded plenty of times before for the number 10 from Washington, but he draws in pressure. And then as he cuts back through, no chance for me. That's really difficult. What you're going to notice, though, is that the angle for the referee in from behind does see the arm from Carlos Santamaria come away from the body. There's not a ton of contact, but that's why the ref blows the whistle. Conversation coming into the College Cup for Washington. Struggled early this year from set pieces. 6 of 8 goals coming in from dead ball situations. The reason being they're unpredictable. They felt like they relied too much on Richie Amen and his striking capability or his service early on. Instead, they've been able to change it up, give a lot of different looks here, and the opposition has struggled.
Kalyan Radisov pointed to his watch as he's jogging over. He's just checking the time here. When the foul happened, there looked to be, at Mike Lance, 2:12 remaining. It ticked down to 1:59. He had given the signal to stop the clock. Let's see. I believe it was 2:12. It just depends on when he blew the whistle, gave the signal. There's the whistle, 2:13 or 2:12. The signal hasn't come yet to stop the clock. Maybe he forgot to give it in the moment.
Whether it's 2:12 or 2:11, we can agree on this, and it might be the only time today that you and I are aligned. It's not 1:59.
No, no.
A credit to the refereeing crew for recognizing that a couple of precious seconds had gone off the clock. Come and take a look.
The review was for the timing. We put 10 seconds back on the clock.
Not 2:11, not 2:12, 2:10, close enough.
Just keep an eye here. There's plenty of time to work through all of this, but as we're standing here right now, Alex Hall, Zach Ramsay, and Richie Amen all standing over the ball. Now you can go direct with the right, the left, but you can also run a screen here. You wonder if Richie Amen wants to work back in front of the wall, and then you could have Ramsay peel off down onto the byline as like a little decoy. Though from this distance, anybody who's feeling it, hard to take it away from a marksman.
And two more than capable standing over it. And Zach Ramsay and Alex Hall. Who will it be? Alex Hall shot fired.
He's got plenty of pace on it, Alex Hall, but notice just not a lot of movement. Actually thought the better idea here, if you were going to go direct at goal, was going to be the left footer with Zach Ramsay, given the amount of space that Logan Erb had committed to covering on the far side, and also the wall was a little bit off angle, allowing Zach Ramsay to have a better look.
Seconds away from overtime. Would be 2 10-minute periods, golden goal, as we saw last year when Vermont won the national championship. Ramsay. Hall. Healey just sends it long. Final minute of play in regulation in the 2025 Men's College Cup Final. Overtime looms. 87th minute tying goal for Healey. And it's Healey running underneath this one. Conde switching toward Phillip. Cleared. One back by Tommy. 33 seconds remaining. Throw coming for NC State. They have to hurry. 30 seconds to go. Isaac Heff trying to wave everybody in the box. This might be the last play of regulation. He's glancing at the clock. 20 to go. Mark Hubbard motioning everybody into the box. 15 to go. Here comes the throw. Flicked on by Phillip. Rescued by Healey. Cleared. And we will head to overtime.
3, 2, 1.
One last chance for NC State. There it is. Overtime in the national final here in Cary.
At the end of regulation, our score, Washington 2, NC State 2. Soccer fans, we now head to overtime.
It was heartbreaking 4 years ago for Washington. Overtime to determine which of these two programs wins its first ever national title after this. Overtime in the national final, Washington 2, NC State 2. It happened in dramatic fashion with Healey tying it for the Wolfpack in the 87th minute after they trailed 2-0.
Certainly Washington was the benefactor of the better run of play, but the chances themselves came from pressure once again. Love their ability on the long ball to reset their defensive line. They pull Markovich out. Mistake between he and Logan Erb. Zach Ramsay stepping through once again for the opener.
And then from that point on, you wondered if NC State would punch back. The punch came though from Washington in the second half to go up by 2.
Head coach from Washington, Jamie Clark, very clear. We want to have success. We want to win this game. We got to dominate the width with Richie Ament and Alex Hall. They get a second one. The problem was they started the attempt fate. They sat deeper. They absorbed way too much pressure. NC State is incredible, moving laterally side to side, working out of the channel, whether it's on a cutback for the byline or towards the top of the 18. That's where they make their bread and butter, and that is where they find their equalizer.
NC State in overtime for the first time in this tournament. Washington needed one overtime to get here. It was back against Oregon State in the opening round. They won it 3-2 in overtime. Would be the same score line now. It feels like 23 degrees with the wind chill here in Cary. I don't think either of these teams right now care much about that. The adrenaline's going, and it could end in a moment's notice. 2 10-minute periods. It is golden goal. No re-entry in the first or second OT periods for subs. The clock will stop every substitution. If tied after 2 overtimes, we decide the national title from the penalty mark.
Quick updates from both huddles, guys, for NC State. Very emotion-driven on the other side for the Washington Huskies. Jamie Clark said, guys, we get to play in an overtime national final game. And then he went on to say some tactical nuances, get the ball to our corner, specifically on the far side. It's a one-possession game, make your moments count.
Marion Crowder down on the field alongside Devin Kerr. I'm Joe Malfa. Happy to have you with us for overtime in the Men's College Cup final. Washington right to left in the black, NC State left to right in the white. This could end at a moment's notice. We'll count it down from 10 in the opening overtime period. Reigning champions Vermont needed overtime last year. Abalele had a long spell on the bench in the second half. His legs should be fresh. Through. Combination. Flex stays down. Chance for Huskies. Intercepted by Heffes. Zach Ramsay was in the mix again. He scored the opening goal way back when tonight in the first half. Hall. Hall floats it on the backside. Amen in front. Kosakov through. Washington's wait is over. For the first time in program history, the Huskies are national champions. second. Colleen Radosov just made the video review signal. They already handed off the trophy to Richie Amon, who took it to the corner. We'll see what they take a look at. To the naked eye initially, wasn't anything clear and present to us. Mark Hubbard chased down Colleen Radosov, and after conferring in the earpiece with the fourth official, decided to look at it. You see the awkward walk back with the trophy just in case here. Just had a little bit of everything tonight. Let's see.
That was a perfect cutback by Richie Amon, one-on-one again. Great explosion. Hold-up play on the drip-off. Not there. There's nothing. Certainly nothing on what we just saw play out in front of us that would lead you to believe that this is coming back. Menace to society, Amon once again. Charlie Kosakoff has had a heck of a night just being able to get on it here. And Harry Bertos, who has been a man on fire against Donovan Phillip and Ibrahim Condé. First ball. That's the look. If they go back that far, what you just saw, the long ball from the far side of the field, and whether or not Charlie Kosakoff was in an offside position. Now, that's the first 40-yard ball from the right flank all the way to the top of the 18.
He didn't touch it, but he might have impacted it getting in the line of sight.
Might have impacted it, absolutely. Now he does get back into an onside position, so this does get a little bit speculative by the referee on what his judgment and his impact on it is. If it's right there, he's off. If he's right there, he's off. Now it's about, as a referee, do you feel like he's impacted the play? The argument would be at the bottom of the screen with Callum Tommy. As Kosakoff steps up in, he prohibits the ability for Callum Tommy to rotate back to the outside. That's what they're looking at.
Jersey still off for Bertos. Colleen Radosov still looking at it. The national championship hangs in the balance. We either start again, or it's a championship win so nice you celebrate it twice for the Huskies. We'll hear the announcement from Colleen Radosov. You'll know before the crowd does.
Decision in the field, stay, good goal.
Washington's about to find out. A look at Bertos. Harry Bertos won the national championship for the Washington Huskies. They celebrated it once, they'll celebrate it twice. They'll be national champions for the rest of their lives. Healey embracing Harry Bertos, childhood friends. The sting of defeat for Healey, but it's one of his best friends who ends up netting the winner. It's an unlikely hero. It's a center back, but maybe not so unlikely. Harry Bertos, that was his 5th goal of the season. The emotion on the side of the victory. And Marion Crowder is down on the field with Jaden Bowen, who tasted that loss in 2021, a champion in 2025.
Jaden, you are the lone player from the 2021 roster. It was a heartbreaking moment in 2021, and you get it done here in 2025. You told me you didn't know whether to laugh, whether to cry. Have you figured it out yet?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just happy. I'm excited for all these guys. I'm excited for all the fans that came 3,000 miles to support. I'm excited for all the 2021 guys that weren't able to experience this feeling. We do it for all of you, and I'm just so grateful to be here today and to celebrate with my team.
2021 to 2025, you're a different player than you were in 2021. What have you learned most about yourself?
Honestly, to just enjoy the moment, enjoy everything that I do. I mean, I'm surrounded by my best friends. I get to see my best friends every day. I think just, I don't know, life is good. Don't stress too much.
Life is good when you're a national champion, and dramatic is something that this team is used to.
Yeah.
You had to face 5 seeded teams to get here and raise a national title trophy. What is it like playing with this group of guys?
Oh my God, I mean, these guys are amazing. I think we were a little underappreciated when the rankings came out, but we proved it to them that we're the best team in the country. And yeah, we're here celebrating over there.
You have a lot of fans that made the trip. You also have a lot of fans watching back home. What do you want to say to the Washington Husky fans who supported you guys?
We have the best fan base in the world. Thank you guys, we love you all so much. We couldn't do it without you.
Congratulations, you're a national champion.
Thank you so much.
What character. And the understanding this team had never given up a 2-goal lead. All of the momentum, the deck stacked against them, NC State on full-on assault, and yet what was the conversation coming into the game? Staying true to yourselves. You have to adapt at certain points in time, but you had to stay true to your identity and the ability to counter. Combination play, getting to the byline. Beautiful from Washington. Prototypical football we saw from them all season long, and the game winner to win the national title.
Now Marion standing by with head coach Jamie Clark.
Are we good? Are we talking? No.
We're debriefing down here already.
We are. I am so happy. I see my own son here wearing a national champ shirt. This is insanely cool. Our fans showed up. They flew out here. We played a road game, and we still got it done. We told them it was going to be hard. We were like, hey, this is going to be hard. There's going to be twists and turns. To give up a goal with 3 minutes to go and to lift our heads back up and go after it again was incredible.
You've experienced both emotions. You've been on so close to this stage in 2021, a heartbreaking loss, but you avenged that in 2025. There's been a lot of learning that you told us happened in those moments. What did you learn about this group of young men that you get to coach?
They are tough. They're resilient. They can play too. That's the beauty of them. I love watching them play. When we play well, we're really fun. At the end, we went for it. We said, hey, we weren't going to sit back. We weren't going to play for penalties. We wanted to make our one moment. We said one moment's going to be a special moment. I don't even know who scored it, but it was great. Who scored it?
Richie.
Unbelievable. What a year.
You also said that Jaden Bowden this was going to be a game where he could really shine. He's the best aerial goalkeeper in the country. We just had him. What character he showed us. What do you have to say about your goalkeeper? Came out big multiple times tonight.
He came back for this. He came back to help the younger goalies. He came back to lead our team. He's an absolutely special guy. And the one guy I want to give a huge chance, Connor Lofi hasn't eaten in 36 hours. He's on an IV before the game, and he made it 70 minutes today. It's incredible what he just did for this team because we needed him.
But a match.
2 freshmen in the middle of the park to finish, too. 2 18-year-olds playing in the middle of the field, doing the business. That's special.
I actually think we need to correct something. I'm hearing from my crew because we were in the middle of a dramatic video review. Guys, who actually did score the final goal? Berto.
Harry? Ah, Harry! We live by the Birdos. We die by the Birdos. That was our saying all year. And, oh, my God. I'm so happy. Yeah.
This is a brilliant sight to see. You said it was great for college soccer. I think we can all agree one of the great things for college soccer is a man like you, 15 years at the helm, getting to experience this emotion. Coach, congratulations. Go celebrate.
So much. Appreciate it.
Weight lifted off the shoulder of Jamie Clark. He just learned that Harry Berto scored the goal, and that's who he embraces now. They had to run a gauntlet, Washington. Every single game against a seeded team. Every single game away from home. These last 2 technically neutral, but tonight was anything but neutral. And now Harry Berto's standing by with Marion Crowder, the author of the game-winning goal.
So you're going to have to forgive me because in the middle of all the dramatic fashion, we thought it was Richie Amon that scored it. We're getting word from the guys in the booth who actually get to watch this game in full display that it was you. How does it feel?
Oh, it's an unreal feeling. I love these boys. Every single one of them. They put their heart into this team, and we didn't give up. 2 goals up. They tied it. We thought we were down. We had a great pep talk in overtime. And it was just, don't give up. Keep going. And Igor hit a shot, bounced up to me, I hit it under the keeper's legs, and the rest is history. But I'm so thankful for our fans and my team. Such an unreal season, 6 games on the road, unheard of. I mean, I got no words.
I think we all want to know the question that goes through everybody's mind when someone scores a goal. Do you actually remember that moment, the ball coming to you? Do you actually black out and you just realize you've scored it?
I remember everything, and then I took my shirt off, and then I was like, oh, it's VAR, oh shoot. But I don't know. Just so much credit to these guys, and I love my team, I love my family, and I love this. This is unreal.
The thing that everybody keeps mentioning is the fact that you guys have had to do this on the road. You've had to play seeded team after seeded team. You've talked about the resiliency of the group and the fact that this is a group of guys who went a little bit unnoticed to start the season. If you could describe this locker room in one word, what would you say?
Just magic, honestly. You know, throughout the season we had injuries, difficult times. I was coming back from injury to start the season, and you know, we all just met together and we were like, okay, this is gonna happen. We're gonna win national championship. And right after our Big Ten tournament lost to Michigan, everyone was down. We thought we weren't gonna make the tournament even. And you know, Jamie said like, you know, we can beat anyone. This is a College Cup team, and here we are. So, I mean, this is just, I got no words for this moment. I love these guys are my brothers for life. I don't know, I got nothing else.
We've talked about your team. Your head coach, when he found out that you scored, actually just about lost his mind. He was so happy for you. What is it like to play under somebody like Jamie Clark?
Jamie's such a great guy, and you know, he has patience. I came as a immature freshman to the school, not knowing what I was getting into, and Jamie coped with me. After every hard moment, he put his head down and looked at me and said, okay, we're gonna grow. And he did this with so many of our players. And at the beginning, it was hard. And this team, so many players out there on the pitch tonight, played so well, worked so hard. And, you know, I can't be more grateful for Jamie. The assistant coaches, best assistant coaches in the country, all of them, they're my guys for life. I love everyone on Washington so much. I can't even speak, I'm sorry.
Visible emotion, go celebrate, congratulations.
Thank you. Let's go, Dogs!
Harry Bertos with a moment that everybody dreams about. Devin, it takes so much to win a national championship. Sometimes you don't know which team it's going to be. The Washington team of 21, of 22, those felt like their best chances. It's this group that ends up hoisting the trophy.
I look bigger than that, right? 5 of 7 first-time champions over the last couple editions. 6 of 7 that have been either unseed or the lower seed overall. The depth of talent, the quality that we are getting in NCAA college soccer right now, not just out of Division 1, 2, or 3. It is spread all across the land. There were pros littered on the field tonight. Could have gone either way, but credit to the Huskies who stayed resolute, the word that Jamie Clark used with us on Thursday. That's what they were going to have to do to hoist a title.
This game had everything. It had a record crowd. It had Washington taking a 2-goal lead, an incredible comeback, overtime, a review in overtime, and it ends with Washington winning the program's first ever national championship. Final score, Washington 3, NC State 2 in overtime. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Devin Kerr, Marion Crowder, Patty Foss, I'm Joe Malva saying good night from Cary. The trophy ceremony is coming up next on ESPN+. Congratulations to the Washington Huskies. Welcome into the 2025 Men's College Cup National Championship Trophy Presentation Ceremony. The Washington Huskies champions in 2025.
Fans, your attention please. It's our pleasure to begin the award ceremony for the 2025 NCAA Division I Men's Soccer Championship. First, let's congratulate both teams on their outstanding achievements and thank our host, First Horizon Stadium, the University of North Carolina, and the City of Cary for their partnership, commitment, and success in hosting this national championship. Now, let's begin by announcing the 2025 NCAA Division I Men's Soccer All-Tournament team. From St. Louis, Quentin Blair. From Furman, Luke Hutzel. From Furman, Braden Durham. From NC State, Donovan Phillip. From NC State, take Healey. From NC State, Nikola Markovich. From Washington, Charlie Kozako. From Washington, Richie Apen. From Washington, Adam Estad. And the 2025 Most Outstanding Defensive Player from Washington, goalkeeper Jaden Poughton. And the 2025 Most Outstanding Offensive Player from Washington, Zach Ramsay. Fans, let's hear it for your 2025 All-Tournament team. Soccer fans, at this time, let's give one more big round of applause for this year's runners-up, the North Carolina State Wolfpack, on their phenomenal season. And now let's recognize and congratulate the 2025 NCAA Men's College Cup National Champion, the Washington Huskies. The chair of the Division I Men's Soccer Committee, Ryan Mackin, will now present the team trophy to our champions, the Washington Huskies.
Thanks for watching the 2025 Men's College Cup Trophy Ceremony. Once again, congratulations to the national champion, Washington Huskies.